Severe weather and tornadoes hit Hallsville Thursday night, turning over trees, disrupting power, and causing significant damage.
Janet and I were watching the news last night, and I don't know what time it was, maybe 7:30, somewhere along in there. Anyway, across the street, we noticed on the report that the tornado was heading our way. We stepped out on the front porch and were watching. Sure enough, saw the clouds start to circulate and saw it start to drop the funnel down just behind the steward's house over there. And by the time we got in the house and got into the middle of the house and got set down, it hit and lasted about 45 seconds, and it was over. It was just that quick.
It was raining, and I knew that we were supposed to get some storms, but I didn't know how bad they were going to be, and wasn't watching the news or anything. And my parents were calling every few minutes saying, okay, the storm's getting closer. Oh my gosh, we're under warning. Then they'd call back a few minutes later and say, there's one on Alpine Road, and keep your phone by you. And next thing I know, my dad's calling and saying, it is here. I see it out the window. Get in your hall. And by that time, I knew I had already started preparing, and the hall in my house is the only place that does not have an outer wall or window. And it's a long hall. It's not this tiny little thing, so that makes it even scarier because you don't feel protected. The noise was terrible. I'd shut off all the doors to the hall, and I got in there and had my animals in there with me. And I was sitting on the floor shaking because I don't like storms already. The house was shaking. I could hear trees popping and the howling. It's like they say, a tornado sounds like a freight train coming over you. And little did I know, it was literally coming straight at my house, went over my house, and you can look at the damage around it and see how it swirled and threw things, and I heard it hit my roof. I thought if I make it out of this hall, my house is gone. I thought if I open this door, I'm going to see outside. It sounded that bad. It was pretty terrifying. So I opened the door. My house was still there for the most part, but I could see sheetrock all over the floor in my living room. And I now have a new window where a limb came through one of my walls in my living room. After I saw the sheetrock, I really started to worry about, okay, what else is broken? And I could see that most of my windows were still intact. And I walked outside. It's still pouring and lightning and thundering, but at this point I'd already gotten a call from my dad that said it's past, the worst is past, it's safe to come out. And as I walked out and saw all of this, I lost it because, number one, it's terrifying, it's sad, it's a lot of damage, and that in itself is scary. But then when you start to see 2 more feet this way or 3 more feet this way, and I wouldn't be here.
Well, we started getting reports around the 7 o'clock when the tornado warnings hit, and we had county crews out and about. Shortly thereafter, our road and bridge crew was following in after the storm to clear the debris from the roadways, to open the roadways up so we could, power company and emergency vehicles could gain access to the different neighborhoods that were impacted by this tornado. We were fortunate. There's only less than half a dozen homes that were to the point of not being livable, for the short term. But a lot of I'm still in the process of doing the assessment and counting the number, but in excess of a dozen or so that had some roof damage, to the houses, a little part of the roof gone or shingles gone. But we still have power out in some of the neighborhoods because of all the number of power lines that were down. Utility companies working as fast as they can to restore power. And I know in today's time, that we all live out in the rural areas. The best thing for people that live in Harrison County is if you have a smartphone, go to your app store and look up Code Red application, and that's our emergency alert notification for Harrison County and the surrounding cities. So all the tornado warnings and such went out on that. Wherever you were in the area, got the notification of the tornado warnings. So just go to your app store and look up Code Red.